Morning, everybody. We are back at it. There's finally waves again. Honestly, for the first time in like 3 weeks, maybe. We got some south wind overnight, big storm, tons of south swell filled in. Wind switched and went north. So we're over here on the South Beach. Typical South Beach fashion. It's not that great. But honestly, the way the waves look, I'm sure there's got to be a sandbar somewhere that's doing it. So just pulled over. I'm trying to get a hold of Jeffrey. I think he's sleeping in. Oh, there was one down there. Anyway, I'm gonna try and find a peak, get some tubes, get back in the water. I did a foil sesh the other day and that was the only time I've been in the water in like 3 weeks. So ready to get back on my surfboard, find some waves. Let's do it. Man, it's probably as good as the South Beach can get, actually. I take back what I said. It's not typical South Beach. It's not that bad. It's good. I actually checked this spot I'm at now on my way down here in the dark and I couldn't see it that well. And I went to some other spots that break closer in and they weren't that good and I got kind of bummed. So I came back here and I'm glad I did because it's pretty proper. I'm glad that I didn't just settle for what I had found earlier because what I'm at now is way better. So time to suit up, get some waves. Let's go. I'm like frothing. I mean, that's still not a bad wave. It was a small one, but. Well, that's what doing the Frisco Disco is. Actually, the Frisco Disco is when you check everywhere and nowhere's good, but there's enough swell that you think somewhere will be good, so you just continue checking places and then never surf because it's bad. That's the Frisco Disco. What we did is just pull up and see good waves, which honestly, some of those waves I saw were some of the best barrels I've seen on the South Beach in years. And then by the time we paddled out, it was over. That was so defeating. It took me 2 hours to catch 2 barrels. And they were about 1/3 the size of the set waves I saw when we were checking it. So that was a real bummer. Jeffrey and I just got out of there. It was so long in between sets. It had dropped like 3 to 4 feet by the time we got out of the water. And now we're gonna go see if we can catch a bass to ease the pain. So I got Jeffrey here. Let's try and find a fish. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Got a little one. Lunker Hunt salamander on the Descend series. These things are injected with salt so that they sink naturally. Deadly bait. Got another one. Oh, this is a nice. Oh, no, it's not. He's just. He felt so much bigger than he is. Little guy, smaller than the last, but whatever. Oh no! Stuck on that tree. There we go. He swallowed it. Crap. The pliers. Well, Jeffrey and I went and caught some bass. That was good fun. Actually, we were leaving and I made one last cast and got my biggest one of the whole time, 3.5 pounds. Actually, it was 3.55. Caught that on a Kraken lipless crankbait from Lunker Hunt. I mean, we just fished for a little bit and then he ran to work. I came home. I'm actually watching the cam right now and it has seriously gotten so much smaller since we even left. It's crazy. These south swells, especially when they're more like southwest like this was, on the South Beach, they're just there and gone like that. They're really weak swells, you know, they're not coming from super far away. It's not like any waves we get typically on all the beaches that you see me surf. I honestly rarely surf the South Beach because it's rarely ever worth it. Today, just because of the winds, that was our only option. High tide was at 6 a.m. and man, I wish we could have been out sooner, but we were in the water by 7. Like I said, it just was overhead and then within hours it was chest to shoulder high and really inconsistent. 2 hours, 2 barrels, that's not that fun. Yes, I did get barreled. I'm not complaining about that. It's always hard when you show up and it's good and it gets worse pretty quick because you set the bar here and then you paddle out and it's here and here and here and here. And so it was what it was. But anyway, that's the South Beach. So is what it is. Felt good to get back in the water. That was my first time surfing in 3 weeks. The waves have just been so bad. February was terrible. March doesn't look like it's gonna be that much better, even though March is typically one of our best months of the year. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully things will turn around. You never know. It's part of living here. You just never know. I will say it was actually kind of nice to not surf for a few weeks. Honestly, every year after January, if February slows down, I typically feel pretty burnt out and I'm psyched to just either fish or hang out with my family or relax in general. You know, I go really hard through the fall here at home and then 6 weeks in Hawaii, and then I come home straight into Christmas, straight into January, and typically January's got waves, and so by the time February hits, I'm just like burnt out on surfing. I've done nothing but think about surfing or edit surfing. And so I always end up at a point where I just want to relax and I want to take my mind off that and do something else to kind of recharge the batteries going into March and April in the spring. It's good to do that, but at this point I am ready for some real waves. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now look, hold on, I got this mic stand. So hopefully any future tutorials, I spent like $35 to get this rig set up and just turned my shotgun mic into a boom mic. So hopefully from now on, I'll be able to have some pretty crispy audio, but this showed up in the mail like 20 minutes ago. So I figured no better time than to sign you guys off with it. So for those of y'all that have been following along, thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next ones. And I'll see you guys next week. Who knows what we'll get into, but we'll be here. Later.